Hey, good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to the Toe Way Series 4. Thank you to everyone that has joined us from the first masterclass, the second, the third, and now the fourth. You're welcome from Kenya, Nigeria, Liberia, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Egypt, Morocco. You're all welcome today. Again, my name is Ibuko Duride. I'm the Entrepreneurship Program Manager, and joining me is able Madam Angela that has been taking us through several series of the Toe Way. And I'm sure we have all learned a lot from her, and we're still learning, and she's also going to teach us more today. So I want us to listen carefully, take notes, and then make sure the session is engaging. She's going to be asking lots of questions, comments, that relate to your business and the decisions you make around your business. So please, just stay tuned and just pay attention to the class today. And today's the last masterclass, as we all know. So joining us as well is Nadia. Nadia is going to be translating to Portuguese and Foco to French. And Adora is also going to be supporting me to facilitate the session today. So again, I'll just hand over to Foco to translate to French, and then we'll hand over to Madame Angela, and she'll start the session. Thank you, everyone, and you're welcome again. Thanks, everyone. Over to you, Foco, and then to Nadia.
Thank you. Bienvenue une fois de plus à cette série sur la façon de faire des Tony, la quatrième et la dernière. Comme d'habitude, nous allons avoir Madame Angela Aneke qui va nous conduire pendant toute la session. Je serai là pour traduire en français. Et Nadia sera lá para facilitar em português. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foco. Boa tarde a todos e bem-vindos a mais uma sessão de Masterclass da TEF. Esta feita, a última sessão dos caminhos do Toe Way, que basicamente serão conduzidas pela senhora Angela Aneke, que tem sido a acontecer por estas 3 semanas. Esta é a última sessão e não se esqueçam que a senhora gosta da sessão interativa. Vocês têm que participar e responder às questões. Obrigada. Madame Angela, over to you.
Thank you, Nadia, and good afternoon, entrepreneurs. And like Ibuku said, welcome to the last session, the last webinar in the series on the Toe Way. So today's session is a leadership series. It was one that Toe took with some senior management staff of UBA many years back. So these are the lessons that he shared with the leadership team, and you're all leaders as you build your businesses. So, listening to this series, I think, would be useful to all of you as leaders. But maybe to start, maybe we just want to recap any of the sessions that we took over the last, we had 3 series, right? We had 3 sessions. So anything that anyone wants to share upon your reflection, etc. So over to you guys. Maybe Foco and Nadia will translate, and then let's just have a recap before we go into today's session.
OK. Aujourd'hui, nous allons nous attarder toujours sur les valeurs d'affaires d'après Tony, et on va voir les leçons de leadership. Parce que, comme vous, Tony a été leader en dirigeant des personnes dans des différentes banques, et on aimerait que vous imitiez cette façon de faire. Donc, par contre, pour ce qui est des anciennes séries, les 3 premières séries, si vous avez des remarques, des observations, des expériences à partager, nous commençons par là. Faites-les, s'il vous plaît. Et n'oubliez pas de remplir la fiche de présence. Nous vous écoutons.
Ok, antes de começarmos a sessão de hoje, que vai se falar sobre algumas lições de liderança, já que vocês todos vão possuir negócios, são líderes, essas lições serão importantes para vocês na vossa caminhada. Vamos fazer uma revisão, uma recapitulação do que foi dado até hoje nessas 4 sessões. Portanto, os comentários no chat, por favor. E não se esqueçam de assinar a lista de presença.
Okay, so I got some comments from the last three Toe Way series. So Kimang Abel says, I have learned that goals should be set out with precision and rigor, and I should be smart. There's another one from Line Chantal. I learned that an idea can come from anyone. This keeps lingering in my mind. Madam Angela, you're the best. From Diane, precision and rigor, an integral aspect, not to be taken lightly. Angel Miriam, I learned about making my SMART goals. Then I have from Emmanuel. Emmanuel says, I'm building a business that will outlive us. Ajibade Oreolua, I learned that we should reverse whenever we make a wrong decision. Blessing Biram Mobofa, I have learned that I should set smarter goals for my business. Then we have from Toludam Lola, ideas can come from anywhere. Oladapo Adebuya, I have learned that precision and rigor and building milestones are very important for my business. Praise Olu, so far I've learned that precision and rigor is very important in business and one should set smart goals. Adesonya Omobolaji, what stood out for me is how Toe Way has been able to institutionalize himself and we're learning from him today. Then Peace Obade, I learned that persistence is one of the important keys for continuous survival of a business. Cybernota.com, ability to build a team. I was able to understand how that can be achieved for my business. Queen, we have to build businesses that are bigger than us, businesses that outlive us. David Jeremiah, I learned that putting the right talent at work is the key to my business. Healthy Talks with Okwe, the part of sustainability stuck with me because we really start to think about, I think she's just talking about sustainability for your business. It's not really clear. Uchechi Joy, I've learned how to manage family relationship in my business. Madwe Kwe, it has been insightful. I have learned to build a company that would outlive me. Then there are other comments on precision and rigor, setting smart goals for their businesses. Then Monday just sent a message, building a performance culture involves creating an environment that fosters high performance, accountability, and continuous improvement. I have learned, then there's another one from Okwe. I have learned about having a sense of urgency in executing my ideas. So those are the comments that are coming in, and there are more comments coming in. Thank you, ma'am.
Great, great. One thing that keeps coming up is this ideas can come from anyone or anywhere, because the last time I told everyone to recap, that came up quite a bit. And then precision and rigor also has come up repeatedly in setting smart goals. So I think those three seem to resonate a lot with you guys, and it's good. So let's hear from Foucault and Nadia.
Okay, I have some comment like Afé Kouti. Personnellement, j'ai aimé le génie de et. Au lieu de choisir entre deux propositions A ou B, on opte pour A et B. Ça fait des merveilles. Okay. Another one is Evans Boris. À la dernière série, j'ai appris que l'idée peut venir de n'importe où et de n'importe qui. Another person is Alfie Kalembe. J'ai appris que les objectifs doivent être smart, la rigueur et la précision. And the last one is Fernand Dila Dankao. La façon de faire de Tony a développé un certain nombre de capacités dans la vision que je peux avoir de mon entreprise. Okay, that is all. Thank you. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foucault. There are no comments in Portuguese related to what was requested. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's get started with today. Let me share my screen. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be taking the last of the series, and it's going to be focused on leadership, which Thierry took. So the lessons from Thierry's leadership himself, and he shared this with the leadership team at UVA a few years ago. So the first one is relentlessness. And so this is the first of Thierry's leadership lessons. And he said, what does the dictionary say about relentless? Let's define relentless. And it says, showing or promising no abatement of severity, intensity, strength, or pace. So remember last time we learned about being resilient. So this comes in somewhat as well in terms of, so as you pursue, for instance, your goals that you set, you want to, you don't show any abatement of the severity, intensity, strength, or pace that you put into it. So that's what it means to be relentless. But let's take the lessons that Thierry says, Thierry shared with the team. He says, be ambitious and be focused on that ambition. Do not be distracted from the path to your ambition. Dare to apply for an opportunity even when you do not qualify. So I still remember the entrepreneur who talked about wanting to expand to the rest of the world in 5 years. So you may want to apply for something even though you don't qualify. Try. Have an open mind. Find out what it takes to succeed in the space you've identified to play in. Do not see impossibilities. Once the self-willingness is there, the solution will come. So let's, a case in point. So like I said the last time, so this is a leadership lesson from Thierry. I'll also share the example. So the case in point that demonstrates this leadership point. So Thierry saw an advert for a job. This was when he was very young, starting off his career. He saw an advert for a job at Allstate's Trust Bank. And the criteria for the job was a minimum of a second-class upper from your bachelor's degree. Thierry did not qualify, as he had a second-class lower. In spite of this, Thierry applied for the job. In his application letter, he wrote that even though he did not get a 2-1, this was not due to the fact that he was not smart and would like to be given a chance to do the job. He got the job. So this is a case in point. The second, I'll do the second one before asking the translators to translate what I've said. The second one is, do not be too detached. And Thierry says, there's a difference between delegation and abdication. Remember last week, I think it was, that we talked about delegation and abdication. So it says there's a difference between delegation and abdication. You need to be situational. You need to look at your organization and, your control environment. So what does the dictionary say delegation is? Delegation is the assignment of any responsibility or authority to another person, normally from a manager to a subordinate, to carry out specific activities. It is one of the core concepts of management leadership. However, the person who delegated the work remains accountable for the outcome of the delegated work. Abdication is failure to fully fulfill a responsibility or duty. You abdicate responsibility. So let's look at a case in point that Thierry shared. So the CEO of Allstate's Bank at the time that Thierry was engaged to work there, he was Ebitimi Banigo. When Thierry applied for the job, Ebitimi Baligo actually went through all the applications. He went through every application letter. So he did not delegate the review of application letters to the head of HR or the head of the department that was recruiting. He, as CEO, went through every application letter. Now, if he did not do this, he would not have seen TOE's application and not given TOE a chance. Because probably maybe the HR person would have just looked at the qualifications. Okay, he didn't get a 2-1 and therefore doesn't qualify for the role. Or maybe the head of the department, okay, he didn't get a 2-1. They would have just followed the criteria to the T. But the CEO didn't delegate this. He actually went through every application letter himself. TOE also said when the merger took place between STB and UBA, he went through every HR file for managers and above after the merger. So to show you how, remember when we talked about people, you know, HR, people, talent management is very important to TOE. Remember his quote, talents I don't have, I don't regret. I surround my people. I surround myself with people who have them. So he went through every HR file. Just imagine in an organization going through every single HR file for managers and above after the merger. And you know, this is really, really instructive because obviously he knew everybody at a senior, from a middle management to a senior role, and was able to place people in the right roles, you know, and identify talent. So very key. So let me hand over to Foko and Nadia to translate what I've said. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Bon, nous allons commencer comme leçon de leadership que Tony veut bien partager avec nous, l'acharnement. Et l'acharnement se définit comme le fait de travailler avec sévérité, intensité, force et beaucoup d'engagement. Ça, c'est la définition littérale. Et Tony dit qu'il faut être ambitieux et très concentré sur cette ambition. Il ne faut pas se laisser distraire sur le chemin de son ambition. Il ne faut pas hésiter à saisir une opportunité, même si vous estimez que vous n'avez pas toutes les qualifications. Il demande d'essayer et d'avoir l'esprit totalement ouvert. Ne pas voir les impossibilités, mais être focus sur les résultats. Donc, comme exemple, Tony nous partage qu'à l'époque, quand il était un peu plus jeune, 26 ans je crois, il y avait une offre d'emploi à Allstate Trust Bank. Et le critère était qu'il fallait avoir genre Bac plus 2. Non, Bac plus 3, mais lui, il avait Bac plus 2. Donc, ça veut dire qu'il ne respectait pas les critères pour être candidat. Mais malgré cela, il a candidaté et dans sa lettre, il a dit qu'il pense qu'il peut faire le boulot, même s'il n'a pas le diplôme exact pour pouvoir le faire. Et vous serez surpris, il a obtenu ce boulot. Donc, c'est pour ça qu'on va aussi vous dire, généralement, ça c'est la deuxième leçon, ne soyez pas confondre la délégation et l'abandon de son pouvoir. La délégation et l'abandon sont deux choses qui dépendent de la situation, de l'organisation et dépendent du contrôle qu'on va avoir de notre environnement. La délégation signifie tout simplement confier certaines tâches à ses subordonnés. Ça, c'est important et ça arrive qu'on confie certaines tâches à ses subordonnés. Mais l'abdication voudrait dire qu'on a carrément abandonné ses responsabilités ou ses devoirs. Et ça, c'est dangereux. L'exemple que Tony prend encore, c'est que lorsqu'il a été retenu à Standard à Allstate Trust Bank, c'est parce que le directeur, M. Ebitimi Banigo, avait pris le soin de lire toutes les offres d'emploi. Et c'est là où il a eu la chance de tomber sur un candidat comme Tony, et il s'est rendu compte que Tony valait la peine plus que les autres candidats qui avaient le diplôme requis. Et le dernier exemple, c'est que lui-même, lorsqu'il a fusionné UBA et Standard Trust Bank, il a pris la peine de lire le dossier de ressources humaines d'un certain nombre de managers, bon, bref, de tous les managers et pour un certain niveau de responsabilité au sein de la banque. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foko. Ok, então, a nossa primeira lição de hoje, que a senhora Ângela traz na lição do Sr. Tony, fala da disponibilidade ou da capacidade de se entregar totalmente ao seu objetivo, ser implacável. Okay? O que é isso de ser implacável? É basicamente ser capaz de mostrar a intensividade ou uma agressividade ao ritmo, não desistir. O que é que o Sr. Tony diz-nos aqui? Ele diz-nos que você deve ser ambicioso e estar focado na sua ambição. Deve sonhar grande e estar focado na sua ambição. Não deve se distrair por outras coisas, outras condições, outras coisas que estão no seu caminho. Aquela que é a tua ambição, aquela que é o teu foco, você deve permanecer sempre alinhado com isso. Deve ser capaz de aventurar uma oportunidade, muitas vezes mesmo quando você não se qualifica para ela, ok? Tenta sempre, tenha a mente aberta, vai atrás das coisas, mesmo quando os outros dizem que você, isso não é para ti, ou você não consegue. E um exemplo que nos é trazido aqui acerca da implacabilidade do Sr. Tony é quando ele se candidatou para o lugar no banco All States Trust Bank. Foi o primeiro banco onde ele entrou e tornou-se gerente, se vocês se lembram. Ele, quando se candidatou, ele não tinha as qualificações que eram, estava a ser pedida vamos dizer, no termo de referência, ou do processo de candidatura. Mas, mesmo assim, ele se aventurou. Ele não teve medo, ele lançou a sua candidatura e, eventualmente, ele foi selecionado, ok? Portanto, ele não deixou não ficou com medo, ele tentou e ele conseguiu o trabalho. O segundo ponto aqui, a segunda lição que ele nos traz ainda neste ponto é o facto de não sermos totalmente desligados das coisas, ok? Há muita diferença entre delegar e abdicar. Delegar uma tarefa é quando você dá a responsabilidade ou a autoridade dessa tarefa a outra pessoa para executar essa tarefa, ok? Mas não quer dizer que você está de fora. Não, você está ali para supervisionar como o chefe, ou como o supervisor, ou como alguém que também faz parte da coisa. Quando que abdicar você lava as mãos praticamente e entrega tudo. O que é que acontece? Você deixa de ter a responsabilidade com a coisa e depois pode acontecer algo que não te agrade. E no exemplo aqui concreto, nós temos ainda o caso do Sr. Tony, quando ele fez a candidatura para aquele emprego, este mesmo caso, ele, quando colocou a sua candidatura, como vocês ouviram, ele não tinha as qualificações necessárias, mas a sorte dele foi qual? Foi que o próprio CEO do banco, o senhor Etimi Banigo, estava a rever cada candidatura pessoalmente. Ele foi abrindo cada processo de candidatura e foi revendo. E aí que ele encontrou a candidatura do Tony Elumelu, e ele achou que é uma pessoa que, apesar de não ter as qualificações pedidas no concurso público, mas tinha outras coisas. E assim ele contratou. Por isso é que o senhor Tony, até agora, ele sempre, para qualquer cargo de gerenciamento, qualquer cargo de responsabilidade, de diretoria, gerência nas suas empresas, ele pessoalmente revê os processos de candidatura. Ele não lava as mãos e deixa só para os recursos humanos ou o outro diretor qualquer decidir. Por quê? Porque o recurso humano muitas vezes vai olhar só para as qualificações. Ou tem mestrado, não tem mestrado, ou o que eliminar. Portanto, essas são as lições que nós temos hoje trazidas para nós pela senhora Ângela. Madame Ângela, over to you.
Thank you, Nadia, and thank you, Foucault. So moving on, the next leadership lesson is from Thierry, is age is not a factor. So he says, leadership is not a function of age. You can be appointed a leader at a very young age. You know, we learned, remember, at the very beginning that Thierry became branch manager at the age of 26. He became CEO at the age of 34. So age is not a factor in leadership. You can be appointed a leader at a very young age and be required to lead those older than you, those who are possibly previously your leaders, and even your friends. says leadership is about being the first among equals. So you must be prepared to be humble. You need to be humble to succeed. Being a leader does not entitle you to lord it over others. So case in point, he says, you know, he shared with us that Ebitimi Banigo, the CEO, became a CEO at a very young age, and therefore he trusted TOE to be a branch manager in his home state at a very young age. Because he had done it himself, he didn't have any biases. He knew that he could also trust someone young. Like I said earlier, TOE was appointed branch manager of Allstate at a very young age, 26, and CEO at 34. When at the time they turned around the distressed bank, Crystal Bank, when they acquired it, he was 34. TOE was appointed branch manager and had to supervise people who were older than him and his friends. So this was a case in point in terms of leadership is not about age. You know what it takes to succeed. Another leadership point, another leadership lesson. He says you must visualize success internally to succeed. At the start of any assignment, so as you start your business, you should ask yourself, what does it take to succeed? Embed yourself in the community. If you're not part of the community, you cannot do well. There are peculiarities in every market. Understand them and develop tailored solutions. Understand your profits and cost drivers. Understand financial statements. Identify risks and prefer mitigants to address these risks. People are key to business. We've learned that people are key. We've heard that repeatedly. So the case in point was when TOE was appointed branch manager for the Port Harcourt region, River State, at Allstate Trust Bank. So as branch manager, he recognized what it takes to succeed, and he recognized that he did not have any operations experience. So he decided to shadow a teller ahead of his relocation so that he would get a sense of how tellers process transactions, just to get some firsthand experience. When he got to Port Harcourt, he also embedded himself in the community. He found out what were the needs there, and then he went ahead and got approvals from his boss in terms of what he felt were the products that were required. And, you know, at the end of the day, TOE's branch became the most profitable branch, more profitable than the combined profits of the 34 other branches. Imagine that. So, you know, he understood what it was, what the community required. He got the necessary approvals and went ahead and pursued that. So know what it takes to succeed. This is just another example. And then how to succeed in sales. So how do you succeed as a leader? So his branch manager, he was understanding, you need to understand as well what it takes to succeed in the various businesses that you want to set up. And then sales is very important. We need to recognize that sales is very important. And how do you succeed in sales? And here he says, you cannot sell a product or service you do not understand. In everything we do, product knowledge is key for success. It says, undergo rigorous and stringent training to understand the product. So many of you are starting businesses, products, you should have firsthand, understanding of what these products are all about. And Thierry said his first job when he, became a graduate was in sales, where he sold photocopying machines, Ricoh, IBM, etc. And he says he went through stringent, rigorous training, morning and evening, on the sales process and the technicalities of a photocopying machine. So he did that every morning and evening. He went through some training so that he could be a better salesman. Okay, so let me let Foka and Nadia translate that. And I'd like you to think about the first 5 lessons, leadership lessons that I've shared from TOE. And I'd like you to give me examples of lessons from your experience that demonstrate these leadership characteristics or leadership qualities that you need. Leadership, business values, leadership lessons, leadership learning points. Okay, so over to you, Foucault.
Thank you. Donc, on va encore échanger sur 3 valeurs de leadership et on aimerait que vous donniez des cas pratiques, des exemples vous concernant. On a déjà vu 2. Le 3e, c'est l'âge n'est pas un facteur. Donc, Tony dit le leadership n'est pas fonction de l'âge. On peut être nommé comme un leader à un jeune âge et il nous revient d'avoir les capacités pour pouvoir rendre cela possible et bien faire notre boulot, même si parmi les gens qu'on commande, il y a des amis et des frères. Donc, le leadership, ce n'est pas être premier. Non, c'est juste d'être préparé et d'être humble dans un milieu où on vous met. Donc, pour réussir, il faut être humble. Et lorsqu'on est leader, ça ne vous demande pas qu'on s'arroge des titres qui ne servent à rien. 4e, le cas pratique, c'est toujours à All State Bank, Trust Bank, où le monsieur Banigo, en tant que directeur, avait nommé Tony comme directeur de branche. En tant que directeur général, avait nommé Tony comme directeur d'une branche alors qu'il était encore tout jeune. Il avait l'âge de 26 ans. Donc, il a été nommé comme directeur de branche à All State Trust Bank. Et en tant que directeur d'agence ou directeur de branche, il avait sous son ordre les gens qu'il a trouvés à la banque et même ses amis. Donc, c'est pour vous dire que ce n'est pas une question d'âge. La 4e valeur, c'est le succès a un prix et on doit savoir ce prix-là. Donc, on doit pouvoir visualiser soi-même en interne ce que coûte le succès. Tout commence par des devoirs qu'on se donne proprement. Donc, intérieurement, vous devez savoir que le succès a un prix et on doit se battre pour cela. On doit aussi s'imbriquer dans la communauté. Donc, vous devez vous confondre dans la communauté où vous vous trouvez afin de pouvoir se faire accepter. Vous devez pouvoir comprendre le marché dans lequel vous êtes. Ça, c'est important. Lorsque vous êtes un leader, comprenez bien votre environnement. Comprendre tous les centres de coûts et de profit dans votre entreprise. Savoir lire les états financiers. Et bien évidemment, observer les risques, les détecter et savoir comment mitiger, comment combattre les risques qu'il y a dans votre activité. Donc, et la dernière chose, c'est que l'être humain est clé si vous voulez réussir. Donc, comme cas pratique ici, Tony nous dit que lorsqu'il a été nommé comme directeur de branche à Port-Harcourt, c'est dans un état au Nigeria, pour le compte de All State Trust Bank, il n'avait pas d'expérience en tant que tel, mais il a été obligé de se plier, par exemple, auprès du caissier, afin que celui-ci lui explique un certain nombre de choses et de connaissances liées à la banque. Donc ça, c'est l'humilité. Donc, comme autre deuxième exemple, Tony nous explique qu'il s'est carrément confondu dans la communauté à Port-Harcourt. Donc, il était impliqué dans les activités sociales pour que les clients reconnaissent en lui quelqu'un qui s'intéresse à la vie sociale, à l'engagement, et il s'est engagé. Ça a permis qu'il comprenne mieux le marché. Et comme récompense, son agence a reçu le prix de meilleure agence sur 34 branches, sur 34 agences dans tout le Nigeria. Donc, la dernière valeur qu'on va partager avant que vous me donniez vos avis, c'est savoir vendre. C'est important, savoir comment vendre. Donc, pour vendre, vous devez connaître votre produit, bien connaître le produit et le service. C'est impossible de vendre un produit qu'on ne connaît pas. Et bien connaître les produits peut vous mener au succès. Et pour cela, vous devez être très rigoureux et surtout vous former. C'est important, vous former pour comprendre le produit. Le cas pratique, c'est que Tony a commencé sa carrière en tant que vendeur d'appareils de photocopie, Ricoh ou IBM. Et il nous dit qu'en tant que vendeur, chaque matin et chaque soir, il se formait. Il cherchait à connaître toutes les caractéristiques de la machine et les fonctionnalités de la machine. C'est ça qui a permis qu'il réussisse. OK, over to you, Nadia.
Thank you, Foucault. Ok, ainda continuando a falar das lições de liderança, nós temos aqui mais 3. Começamos com a idade. A idade não é fator. Esse é algo que o Sr. Tony diz. Ele diz que a liderança não é uma função de idade. Quer dizer, você não tem que ser velho para chegar a ser líder. Ele, pessoalmente, tornou-se o chefe da agência, o gerente da agência, aos 26 anos, conforme nós já ouvimos falar. Okay? O que é necessário é que o líder seja capaz de ser humilde. Okay? Você tem que ser humilde para liderar. Você tem que ser capaz de escutar e ouvir os outros. Você pode chegar a ser chefe das pessoas da tua idade, ou mais velha do que ti, ou até de amigos. Mas a verdade é que tem que saber ser humilde, não deixar que a liderança suba a cabeça, como muitas vezes acontece. Ok? Porque o ser líder não faz de você o senhor de tudo. Nesse caso, o senhor Banigo, o senhor o CEO que na altura recrutou o senhor Tony, teve a confiança nele para colocá-lo como o gerente de uma agência aos 26 anos de idade. Ele chegou a ser chefe de pessoas que eram muito mais velhas do que ele e até de amigos, pessoas, colegas com quem ele trabalhava. Okay. A quarta lição aqui, falamos de reconhecer o que é necessário para ter sucesso. Okay. Você tem que visualizar internamente o que é sucesso. O que é sucesso para si no negócio. E depois perguntar o que é necessário para eu chegar nesse sucesso. Você tem que entender quais são os mecanismos financeiros que é necessário para você ultrapassar, para você chegar ao sucesso. Você tem que entender as declarações financeiras, não é? Ser capaz de ler. Você tem que entender também que as pessoas são chave para o sucesso. O Sr. Tony está sempre a dizer isso. Pessoas são chave para o sucesso de qualquer negócio. Okay? E como exemplo, nós temos de novo o caso dele. Não é? Ele, quando se tornou o gerente de uma agência, foi na cidade de Port Harcourt, uma cidade da Nigéria. Ele, ao chegar ali, antes de chegar ali, o que é que ele entendeu? Ele pensou para si, eu não conheço muito de operações bancárias. Como é que eu vou ser chefe e conseguir controlar as coisas se eu não conheço bem as coisas? Então, o que é que ele fez? Ele se humilhou, colocando-se na posição de um caixa, ok? Durante um tempo, para aprender como é que o funcionamento da caixa, para entender a operação do banco, quer dizer, o caixa está ali à frente com o cliente dia a dia, entender como aquilo funciona para depois ele conseguir liderar. Essa foi a humildade e entender o que era necessário para ter sucesso. Mas é também outra coisa que ele fez também, ao chegar nessa cidade, por ser uma cidade nova que ele não estava habituado, ele começou a se inteirar na comunidade para entender como é que o mercado funciona. Então, quando você quer ter sucesso no seu negócio, você tem que saber qual é o mercado que você trabalha. Cada mercado é peculiar, cada mercado tem os seus próprios parâmetros, e então você tem que entender como é que você entende envolvendo-se com a comunidade, inteirando-se com os seus clientes, com os fornecedores, enfim, entenda o mercado que você quer, onde você quer ter sucesso, ok? E a quinta lição aqui de liderança que a senhora Angela traz hoje diz como ter sucesso em vendas. Ok. Você vai vender produto ou serviço. Se você está no negócio é para vender produto ou para vender serviço. E você tem que entender esse produto ou serviço que você vai vender. Muitas vezes nós entramos no negócio que nós não temos conhecimento técnico. Mas isso não quer dizer que nós não podemos ter sucesso aí. Podemos sim, desde que nós façamos de tudo para entender a tecnicidade desse negócio. Se for necessário ter treinamento, formações, busquem informações, busquem treinamento, busquem aconselhamento, busquem mentoria para poderem ser capazes de entender o que é que esse negócio é, como eu faço para ter sucesso nesse negócio. E, como exemplo, nós temos de novo aqui o que o Sr. Tony fez. No seu primeiro emprego, que ele vendia fotocopiadoras, impressoras, essa não era a área dele, mas ele foi contratado para vender. Então, o que ele fez? Ele entrou em treinamentos, formações, dias e noites, a entender tudo sobre essas impressoras que ele vendia. Como é que elas funcionam, cada varia, o que significa, tudo, para ele se tornar um expert, ser capaz de convencer os seus clientes a comprarem, para ele ser capaz de levar as pessoas a entender, a se interessarem pelo seu produto. Então, qualquer empreendedor que quer ter sucesso tem que ser capaz também de entender o seu produto e o seu serviço antes de poder convencer os outros. Então, agora a senhora Ângela pediu que vocês possam partilhar exemplos na vossa vida, baseado nessas 5 lições de liderança que nós falamos cá hoje, para vocês que deem exemplos de situações nas vossas vidas onde vocês tiveram ou tenham aplicado qualquer uma dessas lições de liderança nos vossos negócios. Tá? Obrigada. Madam Angela, over to you.
Thank you very much, Foka and Nadia. But I was waiting for some examples, so I don't know if Ibukun is there. I was waiting for some examples. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a few examples. So from Tamanda Mbaki, being a good leader takes time and patience, as it requires experience to understand how to deal with people and understand the type of business you're doing. Then there's another one from Monday. Effective leadership involves a combination of skills, personal qualities, and the ability to adapt to different situations and contexts. Chinasa says, relentlessness is really key. I recently applied for a worldwide mentorship program for data engineers. When I do not have sufficient experience, I was accepted. Then there's Abiola Mercy. My boss was younger than me, and I must be submissive to her. Age does not really mean anything when talking about leadership. Die or joy. As a leader, I learned to be humble and not weak, even in decision making. I try to carry everyone along and listen to everyone's opinion and work closely together with them. Boriola Sheon, product knowledge is key to success. There's another one from Olufunke. You must be intentional and ready to take risks. You must be rigorous in training to understand the business you're venturing into. Okore Victoria, age is not a factor. In my firm, I'm the youngest. Yet we all understand ourselves and work as a team. Eva Diva, never stop learning. Keep training yourself because the world is evolving every minute. Start small with the big picture in mind. From King Oge, a week ago, I got a discouraging email from TF saying I will be moving to the next step. After the email, I received emails to join the masterclass. I dare to keep going and hope for the best. As a leader, I have learned to be patient. From Inaji Madwekwe, from TOE Leadership Star, my company sets milestone, looks at long-term goal and would forego short-term benefits. Mutusi, delegating is key to making your employees feel valued. Now come, perseverance, resilience, and constant learning is the key to success. Then Elton Yusuf, leadership is beyond age. It's about the growth of the mindset. Then there's another one here. Leadership is a talent plus experience. Then from Patrick, during my undergraduate student, my first semester result was 2.2. This is due to stress and financial constraint, but I was resilient and focused and ensured that I graduated with a second-class upper. Then another one here from Muhammad, determination. Be determined, be transparent, and accountable. Age is just a number. Right talent is key. Then lastly, from Christina Ezekiel, my first formal job as a sales representative was great. I worked with colleagues way advanced, so I had to be on my toes for trainings. So there's still more coming. There's Ferdinand Gabsiso, learning afresh. Humility is key in leadership. Humble leaders are able to listen and gain key insights from staff, which are critical in any organization. So those are the comments, but there are more comments coming in. Thank you, ma'am.
Very good, very good, very good. And we learned servant leadership from even the Bible when it talks about servant leadership. Very good examples. You all have been paying very good attention. Foucault and Nadia, any feedback from you?
Yes, I have. OK. Donc, nous avons Enoch Sonamba qui dit « J'ai appris que le réseautage dans le monde des affaires est une clé pour le succès. le follow-up des connaissances via email, appel téléphonique. Donc, nous avons aussi un autre qui dit le critère d'âge en entrepreneur n'existe pas. Tout ce qui est la vision qui porte l'entrepreneur. We also have another who is saying, mon expérience concernant la formation.
Let's also get the translation, because I'm sure everyone wants to get the benefit of what was said. Thank you.
OK. OK. Donc, nous avons Shuniaba Shinamula Baliache qui dit le leadership ne dépend pas du niveau scolaire, mais aussi de la parure, mais plutôt d'une haute personnalité. Donc, she's saying that leadership is not function of the level of the school level. It is a matter of mindset and the personality. Okay. We have another person who is saying le leadership naît d'une relation exigeante entre un leader et son collectif de travail. This is Salomon. Son collectif de travail. Exemple, un leader qui a une bonne communication avec ses subalternes et ses collaborateurs, c'est un atout majeur. Donc, Salomon Boussiga, he said that leadership comes from the fact that a leader has his collaborative and a teamwork. And the way he communicates is very important for the other to listen to him. That's what he's saying. Serge Mabenga, s'imposer avec son leadership. Okay. Another person is saying, is Constantin Chideu, le succès a un prix. Oui, pour arriver à défendre mon projet, malgré que c'est dans mon domaine d'études, j'ai été amené à suivre une formation spécifique pour acquérir les notions. So he's saying that success has a price. And unless his enterprise is on his domain, he have to go and take another training in order to master well his business. Okay, and the last one is from Afie Kuti. La clé, c'est l'être humain. Avoir une certaine humilité pour pouvoir apprendre. Aussi, après de plus, expérimenter pour mieux comprendre. He's saying that the key is human being. Being humble and have to learn in front of elder people in order to understand well. That is all. Over to you, Nadia.
Thank you, Foko.
Thanks, Foko. Okay, so we have few comments here in Portuguese. We have Lini Tusha that says that he was the first, he had to create a new product. He did not attach himself, so he got involved with his team to deliver the new product to the market. We also have Yara Adeline that says that leadership is, a leader should know how to work in team and direct his people. Other comments are basically what's similar to what we already got in the other language. Okay.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Nadia.
you.
Thank you. So moving on, thank you. All the feedback we got, very, very good feedback. Thank you, and I like your participation. Thank you. So the next one, people are key to success. You know, Thierry goes on and on about talent, about people. Remember, we learned that last week. All about people. It says people are key to business success. People should be empowered. Organizations must support their business drivers and give them access. You know, so let your people have access to you as you build your business. People should not be scared of you as a leader or be unable to air their views with you. You know, so organizations that are too hierarchical and do not allow people to air their views do not do well. You know, as you build the organization, obviously when you're small, you know, you're still close-knit, but as you begin to grow, you don't want to build an organization that's hierarchical, that's bureaucratic. People management is key. You cannot be a successful leader if you do not know how to manage people. As a result, results are achieved through people, you know, so results are achieved through people. You can't do everything. During interviews, look for passion and for other areas of interest. A friend of mine contacted me earlier today and was asking me, you know, she's an HR professional, and she was asking me, what do I look for in interviews? And she gave me a few things to select: experience, skill, qualifications and skill. She talks about attitude, and what was the last one? I think qualification, skill, experience, and attitude. You know, and she said which was the most important, and it'd be interesting to hear what you all have to say about that. You know, at the end of this session. So Theo is saying during interviews, look for passion, because remember, he talked about passion is key. So, and that speaks of attitude, because it's passion that will help you achieve your business goals. Those, you know, the qualification, experience, all those are given. But over and above that, that passion, the person must bring passion to the table. And then place round pegs in round holes. He said this last, we shared quotes from him on this last week. And this is Thierry saying the same thing again under the leadership series. So case in point, as branch manager, Mr. Banigo observed certain qualities about Thierry. He said he had a director's profile. You couldn't give Thierry staff that he did not want. If Thierry felt someone should be promoted, he really pushed for the person to be promoted. He was empowered to operate as a branch manager and to be effective. At STB, when he was CEO, he said he had an open floor plan. He sat with his executives on an open floor. This gave the executives access. So because they all sat on an open floor, everybody had access to him, eating in the same canteen, like he said earlier, he was involved in all recruitment, because he feels that people getting the equation right. And so I would urge all of you, as you begin to recruit for your organizations that you're setting up, for your businesses, be involved in the interview process. Another leadership lesson Thierry shared with us was no sentiments. It says an organization, this is what the literature says, an organization is a constellation of people. Thierry actually said that. An organization is a constellation of people, but we must have the ethos. And what is ethos? Ethos is a Greek word meaning character. And that is used to describe the guiding beliefs or ideals that characterize a community, nation, or ideology. It is the fundamental character or spirit of a culture. So remember, ethos, character. What's the character of your culture that you're trying to build? It says the underlying sentiment that informs the beliefs, customs, or practices of a group or society, dominant assumptions of a people or period. So building the right ethos is key. And he's saying that ethos that you want to build is one of no sentiments. Drop sentiments and surround yourself with the right people. An organization that encourages people to gossip and backbite, leadership must stamp out immediately. Indiscipline and creating an air of untouchables destroys organizations. Sometimes you have to take certain actions on untouchables to break the myth. So if there's someone, maybe the gist in the organization is that this person is an untouchable, and then the person keeps breaking the rules or doesn't act in accordance with the ethos you're trying to build, you must set an example. The person can't be an untouchable. Otherwise, you will have you will build a culture that you're not trying to, the culture you're not trying to build will be affected. Thierry also goes on to say, poor performers will always whip up sentiments, as an excuse. They'll come up with this, come up with that, come up with this. As a leader, you may fall for this, but reverse yourself when you realize it. Remember, he said, reverse yourself if you made the wrong decision. So he's saying, watch out for poor performance, because they will always try to whip up sentiment. But even if you fall for it, once you realize that you've fallen for it, reverse yourself. People who compete internally are on a self-destruction path, because the organization is working towards one goal. Everybody is working towards your business plan. So you must make sure you're building a meritocracy where you reward performance, which we talked about the last time. In reality, performance management systems, they are not perfect. So strive for a performance management system that has a minimum of 80%, that it at least can measure performance 80% with accuracy. Ensure you reward and promote the right people. If you don't reward and promote the right people, it's transparent. People can see you're not building a meritocracy. You're going to build a culture that rewards the wrong people, and to build a culture that whips up sentiments, non-performance, etc., which is not what you're trying to do. Sycophancy can kill institutions. Sycophancy is linked to tribalism. Let the best man get the job. Best man, best woman get the job. And this next point from Theo is one that I like a lot. He says, someone, and this is in the context of some of you who have raised the issue around recruiting family members or using family members, etc. And listen to what Thierry says. He says, someone should not lose something because they're close to you, but someone should not also get something because they're close to you. Says there should be a balance. So you shouldn't recruit somebody who has no competence in finance, and you place them in finance because they're your relative. They shouldn't get the job because they're your relative. They should get the job because they are competent. But you shouldn't also, on the other hand, say, oh, you have a very good relative who's very competent in finance, but you don't hire the person because the person is your relative. So there has to be balance. So Thierry said, because someone is close to you, and this is not only relatives, it could also be friends, because someone should not lose something because they're close to you, but they should also not get something because they're close to you. And then leadership should not speak differently. There should not be camps. Remember last week we spoke about management by consensus, and consensus is not 100% unanimity. We talked about how, once you've debated an issue, you've come to a conclusion, you all own it, And so leadership should not speak differently. When the item is being discussed and debated, you should have brought your opinion to the table. At the end of the day, once the organization reaches a decision, you all own it. And there should not be camps. Camps polarize institutions because camps lead to self-interest and no longer corporate interest. So bear that in mind as you begin to build your institutions. And then decision-making and execution is the next lesson that Thierry shared with us. It says the most difficult thing is to make a decision. Remember, there was a theory where we learned about make a decision of yes or no, within 24 hours. The most difficult thing to do is, I think he said posterity will judge you for not making a decision, so you make a decision either way, yes or no, the difference between, and recognizing that you can reverse yourself if you made the wrong decision, so make a decision. The difference between successful and unsuccessful business leaders are the decisions they make, so remember, in making a decision, subject it to rigor, subject it to a rigorous debate, get different points of view. Remember, all of you have said ideas can come from anyone or anywhere. So make sure you subject your debate, your decision to a debate, so that you make the right decision, and a rigorous debate. Remember the example about FlexCube versus Finacle, the decision as to which banking software to use after the merger, whether to use UBA's banking software or to use STB's banking software, and the debate that Thierry had. So it's important that You subject your decisions to rigor and make quality decisions. That is a TOE style. There's any decision that is being made, the organization is subject to debate. And, different people bring their perspectives. Leaders should not make optimal decisions. People see through every decision you make. So make sure you can defend your decisions. At times, seemingly difficult paths may create monumental impact. Things are not always easy. Once the decision is made, quickly translate the decision to actions. So case in point, STB had two options in terms of how they were going to pursue their strategic intent of being one of the top 10 banks. But this was one of their goals, to be one of the top 10 banks. And I think they said, I can't remember how many years they said for themselves, but they wanted to be one of the top 10 banks from a distressed situation to being one of the top 10 banks. And their route to doing so was acquisition. So two options were presented to them: acquire Crystal Bank, which was a distressed bank, or acquire Magnum Trust Bank, which is a bank that was still in clearing. It wasn't distressed, and it was owned by one of the new generation banks. TOE made a decision to acquire Crystal Bank, even though it was distressed. So remember the point made earlier that at times seemingly difficult paths may create monumental impact. So this informed the decision to acquire Crystal Bank. But even though it was distressed, we felt the impact of the turnaround would be more. So at a retreat, they decided to merge with UBA, and this was subjected again to debate. And TOE put this into action immediately following the retreat. This was another decision. So separate from the Magnum Trust decision, this other decision was to this was now to be top three, being one of the top 3 banks, and the decision was to merge with UBA. And immediately following the retreat, TOE did not go to work for 1 year. He focused on the merger, and he delegated the role of CEO to 2 of his deputies, Philip Sodoza and Kennedy Uzoka. So he delegated, he did not abdicate, so that he could focus on the decision that had been reached. And then corporate interests at all times. In the corporate arena, there's the corporate and there is the self. Remember what we spoke about earlier about not allowing camps, because camps lead to self-interest as opposed to corporate interest. So he's saying that in the corporate interest, in the corporate arena, there's the corporate. Separate personal and official issues. You must separate self from the corporate. Competition is external. Do not ignore competition. Put the competition on your radar, but do not magnify them to such an extent that you begin to feel inferior to the. So let's give an example of that. In 2010, when the Central Bank of Nigeria retroactively imposed a CEO tenure limit of 10 years, TOE was CEO at the time. TOE presented his arguments from the viewpoint of 5 stakeholders to the UBA board concerning this regulatory pronouncement. So 1, he said, there are 5 stakeholders that are involved regarding this tenure limit. He says 1 is the investing public, who would not want TOE to challenge, who would not want UBA to challenge the regulator. 2nd is the staff, who would not want UBA to challenge the regulator. Thirdly, customers would not want UBA to challenge the regulator. And then the regulators would not want UBA to challenge them. So then you have TOE, who would have liked to remain CEO. So you have 1 person as opposed to 5 stakeholders, and 4 of which would not want the organization to challenge the regulator. So it was about corporate interest. So in the best interest of the corporate, it was best that TOE, that UBA enforce the regulatory pronouncement, and TOE's successor was appointed within 48 hours of the Central Bank of Nigeria's decision. So let me leave a lot has been said now. We've dealt with 4 leadership lessons. So let me allow Nadia and Foko to translate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Donc, nous allons continuer avec la 6e leçon qui est les personnes sont la clé du succès. Donc, ici, c'est clair que l'être humain est la clé de succès d'une affaire. Et pour cela, le personnel doit être formé constamment. Et chaque organisation doit pouvoir mettre en place des supports pour pouvoir donner accès à une formation permanente à son personnel. Ok, chaque organisation est bien sûr hiérarchisée et chacun joue son rôle aussi bien que possible. La gestion des ressources humaines est très importante aussi. On ne peut pas réussir en tant que leader si on ne tient pas compte de la gestion des ressources humaines. Et le résultat ou les accomplissements dépendent des personnes qu'on a sous son ordre. Et durant les interviews, généralement, il y a une chose qu'on regarde, la passion. La passion compte souvent plus que beaucoup d'autres choses. Donc, l'exemple qu'on prend ici, c'est toujours avec All State Bank à Port-à-Côte. Donc, le directeur général à l'époque avait vu Anthony, quelqu'un qui avait un bon profil de directeur. Et pour cela, on l'a ménagé. C'est-à-dire, quand Anthony voulait qu'on promote quelqu'un, on le promotait. Quand il voulait que quelqu'un soit mis à gauche, on le mettait à gauche. Et Tony lui-même était formé. Donc, la banque se rassurait que lui, il ait certaines formations conséquentes. Donc, et en tant que directeur général des Standard Trust Bank, Tony avait fait que tout le monde soit dans un même bureau, ce qu'on appelle les open floor. Donc, le bureau était tel qu'il n'y avait pas de cloisonnement, il n'y avait pas de véritable cloisonnement. Donc, lui et tout son staff étaient dans un même bureau et chacun était assis à son endroit. Ce qui fait que les autres avaient un accès facile à lui et chacun pouvait porter son problème. Donc, c'est aussi une forme de leadership que Tony a développée pour donner le courage aux autres. Et il avait donc exigé à Hair Holding d'adopter cette même pratique de UBA. Donc, et pendant le recrutement, Tony regarde toutes ces valeurs. Et dans tous les groupes, on regarde toutes ces valeurs. Donc, la 7e valeur, c'est pas de sentiment. On va le voir en 3 étapes. Ici, nous, on nous dit une organisation, c'est un ensemble de personnes. Et ces personnes doivent avoir un caractère. Et ce caractère commun, on appelle ça en grec ethos. On appelle ça ethos. Et en grec, ça voudrait dire le caractère. Donc, il est important que dans une entreprise, il y ait une idéologie commune partagée par tout le monde. Un même esprit, une même culture, une façon de faire, des croyances, les habitudes, les bonnes pratiques. Quand une pratique est bonne, on l'adopte et que tout le monde accepte cette pratique-là. Donc, mettre à côté les sentiments, ce n'est pas bon pour une entreprise. On ne met pas le sentiment dans les affaires. Et chaque organisation doit éviter le commérage et les coups bas. Il faut éviter, il ne faut pas encourager ce type de pratique au sein de votre entreprise. Parce que dès qu'il y a ces pratiques, le leadership prend la porte directement et ce n'est pas bon. Il faut aussi éviter les comportements des personnes intouchables, des super employés ou des personnes qui se croient à l'abri de tout. Donc, généralement, quand vous observez ce comportement, essayez techniquement de casser afin que tout le monde revienne à des sentiments. Il faut casser ce genre de mythes parce que ça frustre les autres et ça pousse la performance totalement hors de l'entreprise. Donc, les mauvaises performances apparaissent toujours lorsqu'on ne gère pas bien les sentiments. Et en tant que leader, il faut prendre soin de ça afin que ça n'arrive pas. Donc, de façon interne, il y a certains comportements qui peuvent détruire la façon de faire de l'entreprise. Il faut mettre en place le culte de la méritocratie. Ça, c'est important pour vous de noter cela. Et la gestion des performances doit être systématique au sein d'une entreprise. Toujours mettre au devant les gens en confiance afin qu'ils interviennent optimalement dans le système qu'on a mis en place. Ne pas hésiter à récompenser quelqu'un qui se comporte bien au sein de votre entreprise. Donc, la flagornerie dans une entreprise est quelque chose qu'il faut éviter. Le tribalisme et tout ça. Parce que dès que la flagornerie entre dans l'entreprise, c'est fini. Ça devient très compliqué. Ne mettez pas le sentiment. Évitez de ne pas recruter une connaissance, un frère alors qu'il le mérite. En même temps, éviter de recruter une connaissance ou un familier alors qu'il ne le mérite pas. Ça tue l'entreprise. Donc, ne mettez pas le sentiment dans les affaires. Et généralement, dans les entreprises, évitez aussi les affaires de camp, que je suis pour tel camp ou je suis pour tel autre camp. Souvenez-vous quand il fallait, par exemple, fusionner Standard Trust Bank et UBA, il y avait 2 logiciels, FlexCube et Pinnacle. Donc, Tony a mis au devant le consensus. Donc, lorsqu'il y a des camps dans votre entreprise, privilégiez le consensus, amenez les gens à discuter entre eux, d'être tolérants afin de prendre des décisions importantes et casser l'option de camp. La 8e valeur, c'est être décisif, prendre des décisions quand il le faut et directement passer à l'action. Donc, pour cela, vous devez savoir que la plus difficile des choses, c'est de ne pas prendre des actions, de ne pas prendre des décisions. La différence entre un bon leader et un entrepreneur à succès, c'est au niveau de la prise de décision. Les leaders prennent des décisions. Ça, c'est important et vous devez le noter. Et chaque décision doit être suivie d'une action. Et quel que soit le degré des difficultés qu'il y a au sein d'une entreprise, combattez-vous, battez-vous parce que le résultat peut être monumental et avoir un grand impact au sein de l'entreprise. Et ne croyez pas toujours que les choses vont être faciles. Vraiment, ça peut être le cas. Quelles que soient les situations, prenez des décisions et passez à l'action. On vous a indiqué la technique de 48 heures, de 24 heures pour prendre une décision. Le cas pratique que nous allons prendre ici, c'est toujours un cas où on a eu à Standard Trust Bank où il y avait 2 options pour pouvoir faciliter la croissance de la banque et être parmi les 10 banques du Nigeria. Donc, il y avait l'option où il fallait acheter Crystal Bank, qui était une banque stressante et très mal en point. Et il y avait la décision de racheter Magnum Trust Bank, qui était une banque assez propre, qui avait un bon feeling. Vous savez ce que Tony a fait? Tony a décidé d'acheter plutôt Crystal Bank. Donc, il a acheté une banque qui n'était pas vraiment bien en point et le challenge a permis que l'impact plus tard soit tellement grand parce qu'il a réussi ce challenge-là en prenant une décision qui était même à contre-courant, comme on dit souvent. Les bonnes décisions peuvent se prendre à contre-courant. L'autre exemple aussi, c'est l'exemple toujours de Tony à UBA, entre UBA et Standard Trust Bank. Donc ici, quand il a fusionné UBA et Standard Trust Bank, rassurez-vous, Tony il s'est pratiquement retiré et a donné le pouvoir à ses 2 adjoints, Philippe Oduozoa et Kennedy Uzoka. Donc, il a pris 1 an de retraite afin de permettre aux autres de prendre le devant. Donc, voilà une décision courageuse qu'il a prise pour justement montrer le sens de l'entreprise, le sens de l'intérêt commun. Et le prochain point, justement, c'est l'intérêt commun doit prédominer sur tout et à tout moment. On verra ça dans un exemple. Ici, on dit l'intérêt de l'entreprise. L'entreprise est une jungle et l'intérêt de l'entreprise doit toujours prédominer sur l'intérêt individuel. Séparer l'intérêt personnel de l'intérêt de l'entreprise. C'est très important de le faire. Quand on est en entreprise, la compétition, c'est à l'extérieur. Donc, la concurrence, c'est avec l'extérieur. Ce n'est pas au sein de l'entreprise. En entreprise, on doit travailler avec une certaine harmonie afin de pouvoir faciliter la bonne organisation et détruire tout sentiment inférieur. Donc, l'exemple que nous prenons ici, et vous allez être vraiment marqué, c'est qu'à un moment, le régulateur de la banque au Nigeria a dit, il y a une loi qui a dit, on ne doit pas avoir un directeur général qui a plus de 10 ans dans une entreprise. Et c'est parce que Tony avait déjà atteint le cap de 10 ans. Et Tony ne voulait pas partir. Donc, lui disait, je veux toujours rester directeur général. Alors que les autres actionnaires étaient contre sa décision. Donc, on va prendre 5 personnes qui étaient contre. Les autres actionnaires étaient contre. La vie publique était contre le fait que Tony doit combattre le régulateur. Donc, doit aller en face du régulateur en disant que je ne pars pas comme directeur de ma banque. Donc, les clients ne voulaient pas que Tony combatte le régulateur. Le régulateur lui-même ne voulait pas une bagarre avec UBA. Donc, Tony lui-même, il a dit, lui, il voulait rester comme directeur général. Mais finalement, qu'est-ce qu'il a fait? Il a dit, bon, 1 contre 5, il a oublié d'accepter la décision et on a choisi ses successeurs, ce qui fait qu'en 48 heures, quelqu'un d'autre a pris les rênes de la banque. Donc, voilà ce qu'on pourrait partager avec vous concernant ces prochains points. Donc, je laisse Nadia prendre la parole et après, on fera les suites. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foucault. Ok, continuando nas lições de liderança, nós vamos, a próxima lição, que é trazida aqui, a lição número 6, fala o que nós já repetimos aqui, que as pessoas são chave para o sucesso, ok? O que é que isso quer dizer? Quer dizer que as pessoas devem ser empoderadas, as pessoas têm que ter, na sua organização, você deve dar suporte às pessoas, devem deixar as pessoas entenderem que elas fazem parte da equipa e que a posição delas tem valor. As pessoas não devem ter medo do chefe, não devem ter medo do líder da empresa, mas, pelo contrário, devem respeitar e gostar de trabalhar com ele, ok? Uma organização não deve ter muita hierarquia, muita burocracia na organização da organização, porque quando assim acontece, o staff, o pessoal tem medo de chegar até o chefe, tem medo de conversar com o líder, e isso pode afetar gravemente o sucesso da empresa. Okay? Então, deve procurar-se sempre levar as pessoas a sentirem-se confortáveis na organização. Outra coisa importante é ter o cuidado nas entrevistas, quando se tem que contratar um novo funcionário. Para quem está a começar agora o negócio, é sempre importante que vocês estejam envolvidos na contratação dos vossos funcionários. Para que vocês possam analisar a pessoa, possam olhar para o funcionário e avaliar, em vez de confiarem na opinião de uma terceira pessoa que possa contratar para vocês. Okay? Exemplos do caso em ponto aqui, nós temos quando o Sr. Tony tornou-se gerente da agência em Portaco, ele teve o diretor da empresa, do banco na altura, deu-lhe autoridade para que ele pudesse contratar ou promover pessoas dentro da sua organização, se ele sentisse que merece. Portanto, ele empoderou o Tony para que ele pudesse tomar decisões que afetassem o benefício geral do banco. Por quê? Porque ele que estava a viver, ele que está lá perto, ele está lá naquela cidade, está lá naquela agência com os seus colaboradores, ele sabe quem merece e quem não merece, em vez de haver só um sistema que é generalizado, que é gerido pela base, pela central. E o Sr. Tony teve outras atitudes para mostrar que ele dá acesso aos seus colaboradores. Por exemplo, em vez de ter um gabinete fechado, ele tinha sentou-se num gabinete com seus executivos, um gabinete aberto, o que não é muito comum, onde vê-se um gerente da agência sentado na mesma sala com outros executivos. Ele fez isso para quê? Para permitir que eles tivessem acesso a ele sem problema, sem ter o receio de chegar, eu estou a incomodar, bater a porta. Não, não havia porta, está tudo ali aberto, eles estão na mesma sala, podem simplesmente conversar com ele. Quer dizer, ele abriu-se para eles. Ele sentou, tem uma só cantina, ok? No seu escritório de Hair Holding, que é uma empresa do Sr. Tony. Eles têm só uma cantina, mesmo ele encoraja isso nos seus bancos, no UBA, para que não tenha o cantina do executivo, cantina do staff, não, é cantina geral, para que todo mundo se sinta igual, sinta parte da coisa. E até hoje, sempre que possível, o Sr. Tony se envolve no recrutamento, porque ele quer conhecer, quer estar mais próximo das pessoas que venham a trabalhar com ele, ok? A sétima lição, aqui, nós falamos de sem sentimentos. O que é que isso quer dizer, sem sentimentos? Porque uma organização na verdade, uma constelação de pessoas. Está muita gente ali. E o Sr. Tony aqui chama-nos a atenção, ele usa o termo ethos, que é um termo grego, uma palavra que significa caráter, ok? E é usada normalmente para descrever crenças ou ideais, orientações que caracterizam uma comunidade ou uma ideologia. Ok? Então, o que ele diz aqui em relação a isso? Ele diz que uma empresa, uma organização, não deve ter crenças, não deve ter culturas que leva a destruição da organização. Qual é o tipo de culturas e costumes e hábitos são esses? São aquelas crenças que às vezes a gente não dá importância, mas que acaba por destruir a organização. Por exemplo, o espírito de fofoca, ou a bajulação, a indisciplina, ou aquela coisa de levar os funcionários a entender que um ou outro é intocável. Esse tipo de atitudes destroem qualquer organização, ok? Porque as pessoas que se julgam intocáveis são capazes de cometer ações impensáveis e os outros, se veem esses tais intocáveis a fazerem algo que é errado, não vão intervir porque acham que ele é intocável. Portanto, sentimentos não devem. No negócio, afastem-se dos sentimentos, sem sentimentos. Okay? Usem a razão quando se refere aos sentimentos. E muita atenção aqui, que normalmente as pessoas que têm o desempenho mais fraco são as pessoas que têm a tendência de apelar ao sentimentalismo. Às vezes, nós dissemos aqui para se envolver na contratação do staff, mas não quer dizer que você não cometa o erro de contratar um ou outro que não seja bom, que seja a maçã ruim ou o peixe podre. Mas quando você se apercebe disso, o que deve fazer é deixar ir essa pessoa, é afastar-se, tirar essa pessoa de dentro da organização. Lembra-se, nós falamos acho que na aula passada, que as pessoas devem ser capazes, o líder de verdade deve ser capaz de reconhecer quando está errado e tomar um passo na direção certa. Portanto, errar é normal, mas o que deve fazer é reconhecer que está errado e afastar-se, ok? Há uma recomendação aqui do Sr. Tony, que é para se usar o sistema de gestão de desempenho, ok? Em vez de achar que, ou qualquer um achar que pode ser promovido porque é relacionado com o dono da empresa, ok? Não, usa um sistema de gestão de desempenho, que é um sistema que vai avaliar todo mundo de forma igual e só avança quem realmente merece. Tem que assegurar-se de que quem é capaz é promovido, não a pessoa ser promovida por causa da familiaridade, ok? Portanto, a outra coisa aqui que é importante aqui nesse ponto é lembrar-se que a bajulação mata qualquer instituição, ok? Sobretudo essa bajulação que é agregada ao sentimento do tribalismo. Nós em África temos muito disso, que é da minha aldeia ou da minha tribo aqui. E isso, afastem-se disso nos vossos negócios, porque isso pode matar os vossos negócios, ok? Um líder de verdade deve entender o seguinte: uma pessoa não deve perder algo só porque ela é relacionada a ti, porque ela é próxima de ti, ok? Não deve perder algo porque ela está ligada a ti, mas também não deve ganhar algo somente porque ela está ligada a ti. Esta é a lição do senhor Tony aqui, quando ele fala de nós sem sentimentos. Por quê? Não é porque alguém é meu familiar que não me dá um emprego, mas também não é porque alguém é meu familiar que ele recebe um emprego mesmo sem ser capaz de executar. Porque nessas, a gente às vezes leva a nossa empresa à bancarrota, nós levamos à destruição. A liderança tem que ser capaz de falar de forma diferente, ok? Portanto, sem sentimentos aqui, é isso que quer dizer. Então, a lição número 8, nós falamos de decisão, tomada de decisão e execução. A tomada de decisão é muito difícil para qualquer um, mas, sobretudo, para o líder. E nós, na aula passada, nós falamos de a escolha, não é? Do caminho 1, caminho 2, caminho A e B. Porque, na verdade, o líder está sempre a tomar decisão. E a tomada de decisão é a tarefa mais difícil que pode surgir. Mas a diferença entre o sucesso e o insucesso de um líder reside aí, na tomada de decisão, ok? Então, o líder tem que saber como tomar decisão. Não pode ficar procurar uma decisão que é boa, ou quase boa, ou boa, perfeita, mas não pode ficar na indecisão. Há que tomar decisão. Não pode estar a protelar as coisas e levar as coisas. Tem que decidir e tomar decisão. E, às vezes, nos tempos mais difíceis, as decisões mais difíceis que se tomam podem vir a ter um efeito monumental, um impacto monumental no seu negócio, ok? As coisas não são sempre fáceis, mas a decisão é para ser tomada. E essa decisão que às vezes a gente toma no momento mais difícil pode vir a revelar-se como algo crítico para no nosso futuro. Okay? O exemplo nós temos aqui, quando se falou o senhor Tony, nós já falamos tanto na altura da escolha de qual banco haveriam de pegar. Se pegariam um banco que estava em queda ou se pegavam um banco que ainda não estava em queda, pelo menos oficialmente não. E eles decidiram comprar o banco, o Crystal Bank, que era o banco que estava em queda. E o que aconteceu com este banco depois? É a decisão que eles tomaram. E depois houve o momento de fazer mergir os dois bancos, ou quer dizer, o Crystal Bank com o Magnum Trust Bank. E ali, de novo, houve aquela coisa de que uns diziam que não é bom mergir, que se mergir não vão crescer, mas essas decisões foram tomadas pelo Sr. Tony e, eventualmente, hoje revela-se o grande sucesso que é o Banco BA. Portanto, a decisão que foi tomada naquele momento como uma decisão bastante crítica, teve um impacto bastante significativo agora, passado tanto tempo, ok? Portanto, as decisões são para ser tomadas, não há como fugir delas. A nona lição de liderança que nos traz aqui a senhora Ângela é a lição que diz os interesses corporativos acima de tudo. Quer dizer, em todo momento, interesse corporativo. Acima de ti, acima dos teus interesses pessoais, o interesse corporativo. Você tem que separar-se de ti como pessoa do negócio, ok? Separa-te a ti do negócio, em tudo. E para isso, também tem que olhar que a competição deve ser externa. Competição não é interna, dentro da organização. A competição deve ser externa, você deve olhar para o que o competidor o concorrente está a fazer, o que o concorrente está a fazer, como é que eu posso fazer para melhorar, mas lembrar-se de que você não deve sentir medo, mas você deve achar que se ele faz isso, eu posso fazer melhor, tá? Então, nós aqui nesse ponto, qual exemplo nós temos? Nós temos um exemplo, de novo, do Sr. Tony, na altura, em 2010, quando o regulador, né, a entidade reguladora, definiu que um prazo máximo para ser CEO do banco era de 10 anos, ok? Então, o Sr. Tony tinha que tomar uma decisão. Ele olhou, então o que ele fez? Ele olhou para esse desafio, encarou, dividiu em cinco componentes. Ele olhou e disse quais são as partes interessadas para o futuro do banco. Ele olhou que aos investidores, quem investir no banco, que de certeza que não quer desafiar o regulador, não quer desafiar a entidade reguladora. Ele olhou para os funcionários. Os funcionários não querem desafiar o regulador. Os clientes, certamente que os clientes não querem desafiar os reguladores. E os próprios reguladores, claro que não querem desafiar os reguladores. Então, ele é a única pessoa que tem interesse em continuar como CEO. Só ele é a única pessoa que quer desafiar o regulador. Não faz sentido. 4 contra 1, ele então recuou e deixou o lugar. Portanto, ele colocou o interesse da empresa ou do negócio à frente do seu interesse. Ok? Então, basicamente, são essas as lições de liderança que nós temos aqui, as 9 lições por enquanto. Vamos continuar a ver quais são as outras lições que vêm. Não se esquecerem de assinar a lista de presença. Madame Angela, over to you.
So this was a long one, entrepreneurs, very long one, but I'm sure you got the gist of what the lesson. So the next one we are going to talk about is focus on shaping your image. We talked about brand positioning the last time. And so Thierry says, pay attention to reputational management, marketing, and corporate communications. So as you remember, building your brand is so important. It'll take on the literature says, you know, the brand of an organization takes on the brand of the entrepreneur that founded them. So pay attention to reputational management, pay attention to marketing, pay attention to corporate communications. Remember what Warren Buffett says, you can build your reputation in 30 years and lose it in 5 minutes. So intentionally build your brand and shape your image and set how you want. So this is what Tia is saying, set how you want the world to see you. When the world sets how you are viewed, it is difficult to change. So you must be intentional about shaping your image. And the case in point that Thierry shared was that at STB, Thierry motivated his team to write a generational statement and to democratize banking. If you recall, remember that quote is, we're going to write a generational statement that will compel them to believe in us through our achievements. So that generational statement, think of that as you build your business, that you achieve all that you set out to achieve. And Thierry believed that results would speak for themselves, and therefore he ignored branding and corporate communications. He just felt our achievements will compel them to believe in us, but nature abhors a vacuum. The public tagged Thierry and his team cowboys. When Thierry started Hares Holdings and the Tony Elumelu Foundation, he intentionally focused on branding so as not to repeat the mistake he made at STB. Okay, so the next one is emotional intelligence is key. Ensure you have social awareness. Social awareness, as emotional intelligence, there are 4 aspects, and social awareness is one. It gives you the ability to understand and respond to the needs of others. Understanding other people's feelings is central to emotional intelligence, according to Daniel Goleman, who we know is the expert on emotional intelligence. Communicate. Humility is key. We talked about humility when we talked about age is not a factor. Leaders must be able to listen. That's something we learned in the Toe Way when we were talking about management by consensus. Some people do not speak, so leaders should be watchful and draw out their views. Some people, the person that may have the idea that will change the whole trajectory for the organization, maybe the person who's not speaking. So you need to draw ideas and draw out people who are shy, etc., don't want to speak, and get them to talk. They may have the answer. So case in point, soon after the UBA-STB merger, a senior staff approached TOE to be appointed executive director. TOE advised the person that the process would be merit-driven, and he was not involved in that process. The selection process went through professionally, and this person was not selected. Some EDs at STB had to step down as EDs because of that selection process. Thierry realized many years later that he made a mistake by not communicating the decision personally to the senior staff who had approached him for the appointment. So, and then leadership is situational and depends on the stage of development of the organization. Every phase of our professional life calls for an adjustment. So leadership, there are things Thierry did in the startup at STB. Remember the awards when we're talking about performance? At different stages of your development, propagating Afro-capitalism and ensuring institutions to last. So in summary, some constants for success: people management. I'm sure by now everybody is convinced that people management is key for success. Ability to recruit, develop, assess, reward, and discipline people is key. Define the direction and goal and focus on it. Define milestones and measure as you go along and celebrate as you go along. Discipline of getting things done. Execution, execution, execution. Turn ideas to action. Translate your dreams to reality. Great leaders are tough on discipline. Great leaders are fair but firm. Great leaders have a strong culture ethos. and they're involved in driving it. They preach it, show it, propagate it, they protect it, and do not tolerate deviance. So in terms of food for thought, this is not a food for thought quote from Thierry. This is a food for thought from one of the Thierry Way sessions. So many people have worked with Thierry. Many people who have worked with Thierry have indicated that one thing that has motivated them while working with Thierry is his belief in them. Thierry has given them jobs that stretch them. Believe in your staff and watch the results. So that's the end of the Thierry Way. And I'm going to hand over to Foucault and Nadia to do the translations in French and Portuguese. And then we're going to take feedback, questions, your thoughts on the series. It's been a real pleasure taking these sessions, and I look forward to your feedback. Thank you. Over to you, Foucault.
OK. Donc, comme 10e valeur que nous allons partager aujourd'hui concernant le leadership, c'est que vous devez vous concentrer sur votre image. Comment bâtir votre image. Donc, pour ça, il faut très faire attention à la réputation de votre management, de votre marketing et de votre communication. C'est-à-dire que vous devez avoir une façon de communiquer qui est identitaire. C'est ça qui constitue votre image de marque. Et vous devez savoir que la façon dont le monde vous voit, une fois que c'est établi, c'est difficile de le changer. Rappelez-vous ce que Warren Buffett nous a dit. Il a dit, vous pouvez faire 20 ans à bâtir votre image et en 5 secondes, tout se gâte, vous perdez tout. Donc, il faut vraiment prendre soin de son image. L'exemple que nous avons comme cas pratique, c'est que Tony, quand il est arrivé à Standard Trust Bank, il a motivé tout le personnel en leur disant que nous devons bâtir notre génération. Il faut que la banque soit démocratisée et ça s'est réalisé. Ça, c'est des choses qui bâtissent l'image d'un homme bien d'une institution. Et Tony a toujours dit que c'est les résultats qui doivent parler d'eux-mêmes et pas finalement le branding. Donc, le branding contribue au résultat, mais ce qui compte, c'est le résultat. La nature ayant horreur du vide, ça, vous devez le savoir. Tony a atteint un point où tout le monde l'appelait cowboy. Donc, on l'appelait son équipe les cowboys parce que c'était des gars, c'était des mercenaires, des gars qui étaient focus sur l'image de l'institution qu'ils représentaient. Et à Hair Holding, et quand Tony a lancé Hair Holding et la fondation Tony Lemelou, il a spécialement été très regardant sur le branding et l'image de marque, ce qui fait que pour ne pas retomber dans les erreurs du passé que lui-même il avait subies. Notre 11e valeur, c'est l'intelligence émotionnelle qui est aussi très importante. Donc, vous devez toujours vous rassurer d'avoir une vigilance dans ce que la société pense de vous, l'émotion que les gens ont. Comprendre les autres, leur façon de voir, leurs sentiments, c'est central dans ce que vous faites. Vous devez communiquer, être humble, être des leaders qui écoutent et surtout, tenir compte du fait qu'il y a des gens qui sont timides, qui n'aiment pas parler. Vous devez avoir des techniques pour les amener à se dévoiler, à parler. Et ils ne parleront que si vous les écoutez. Vous devez l'envie de les écouter. L'exemple pratique toujours, c'est lorsqu'on a voulu fusionner UBA et Standard Trust Bank, le staff a approché Tony. On a proposé à Tony d'être le directeur, appelons ça comme ça là. Et puis, il y a eu des réunions à cet effet parce qu'il fallait mettre au devant le mérite et l'implication au sein de l'institution. Donc, un comité de sélection a été mis en place et à la fin, certaines personnes n'ont pas été sélectionnées. Donc, ce qui fait que ça a été globalement une erreur et que Tony a reconnu plus tard. Pourquoi? Parce qu'il n'avait pas impliqué tout le monde dans cette décision qui avait été prise. Et du coup, certaines personnes se sont senties blessées. Donc, c'est ça l'intelligence émotionnelle. Donc, la dernière valeur que nous allons voir aujourd'hui, c'est le leadership est situationnel. Ça voudrait dire que le leadership dépend de l'étape où on se trouve, du niveau de développement de votre entreprise. N'adoptez pas des comportements à tort et à travers, ça ne va servir à rien. Restez toujours très professionnel et ajustez votre façon de faire, adaptez-le à la situation. L'exemple qu'on prend, c'est toujours à Standard Trust Bank, où quand on a mis en place, bon, je n'ai pas beaucoup saisi ça. Donc, toujours est-il qu'à Hair Holding et à la Fondation Tony Elumelu, les choses s'adaptent progressivement. L'entrepreneuriat, l'afro-capitalisme, tout est bâti pour que ça perdure. C'est ce qu'il faut retenir. Tout est bâti pour longtemps. Ça, c'est le soin que Tony a pris. Et à la Fondation, on adapte progressivement le programme pour que ce soit toujours une réussite. Donc, en somme, ce qu'on va dire, c'est que le management, la gestion des hommes tient compte de la capacité à bien les recruter, à les développer, à les évaluer, à les récompenser et veiller à la discipline. Il doit toujours avoir une direction bien définie et sur laquelle tout le monde est focalisé. Les étapes importantes à suivre et mesurables doivent être la clé. La discipline doit être quelque chose d'important et toujours passer à l'action. Les grands leaders sont des personnes qui sont très disciplinées. Et pour finir, une forte culture dans une entreprise est importante. Et quand il y a cette forte culture, on doit éviter tout ce qui est déviance. La dernière pensée qu'on va partager, c'est que plusieurs personnes qui travaillent avec Tony ou bien qui ont travaillé avec Tony ont reconnu qu'ils ont été marqués et motivés par la confiance que Tony fait qu'ils aient en eux. Donc, Tony fait que les gens croient en eux. Et ça permet qu'ils se bâtissent et qu'ils se reconnaissent véritablement comme des hommes qui peuvent être des gagnants. Comme quoi, il faut toujours croire à ses collaborateurs, ça va pousser au résultat. Merci une fois de plus. C'était la dernière session de cette Master Series et à la prochaine. Over to you, Nadia.
Thanks, Foucault. Ok, então, continuando nas lições de liderança, nós temos a lição número 10, que diz para vocês se concentrarem na vossa imagem, ok? Portanto, preste atenção na reputação que vocês criam como gerentes, como donos dos vossos negócios, porque a vossa imagem reflete o que o vosso negócio será. Deixa que o mundo tenha uma boa imagem vossa e assim terá uma boa imagem de negócio. Okay? A lição número 11 diz inteligência emocional é chave. O que é que isso quer dizer? Vocês têm que ter uma consciência social para serem capazes de entender quais são as necessidades das outras pessoas e dessa forma poder responder. Comuniquem-se. Sejam humildes. Sejam líderes que ouvem, escutam o vosso colaborador e o vosso staff. A 12ª lição aqui diz que a liderança é situacional, quer dizer, depende da situação. Nesse momento, vocês podem ser os líderes na vossa empresa e terem certas responsabilidades, mas à medida que a empresa cresce, o vosso papel muda e, eventualmente, vocês terão outras responsabilidades e outras pessoas que estão envolvidas na empresa tenham outras responsabilidades. Em cada momento da fase da vossa vida profissional, há responsabilidades que vocês têm e há responsabilidades que vocês deixam de ter. Okay? Portanto, a liderança é uma questão da situação em que vocês encontram. O Sr. Tony, por exemplo, há responsabilidades que ele tinha quando ele era o chefe do banco, que hoje ele não ocupa na posição que ele tem. Portanto, depende da posição onde estão. Então, em sumário, em resumo, o que é que se deve levar aqui das lições de liderança? É que as pessoas, gerir as pessoas é chave. Recrutar as pessoas é chave. Desenvolver as pessoas é chave. Disciplinar, enfim, tudo isso traz para vocês, pode trazer para vocês sucesso ou não. Portanto, lembre-se que as pessoas são chave para o vosso negócio. Outro ponto, definir a direção ou o objetivo, a meta que vocês querem atingir e manter o vosso foco nessa meta. Definir as metas a longo prazo e metas a curto prazo. Lembre-se que os pequenos passos é que fazem que se atinja a meta final. Disciplinem-se, porque a disciplina é o que vai vos ajudar a ser líderes de verdade. Torna as vossas ideias em ação. Deixa de tira da mente e põe em prática. Lembre-se que os grandes líderes são bem rígidos em disciplinas, são justos, não tem patriotismo, não tem tribalismo, não tem nada disso. Tem que ser líderes de verdade, ok? Os líderes de verdade não se apegam a essas de familiaridade. E lembrar-se da cultura do ethos. Quer dizer, vocês não querem cultivar na vossa organização uma cultura que possa destruir. Nada de fofocas, nada de intrigas, nada de padrinhagem, enfim. Pelo contrário, coloquem na vossa organização culturas que possam protegê-la e fazer com que ela viva para além de vocês. Ok? Então, aqui uma última mensagem do seu Tony é que as pessoas que trabalham com ele disseram que o que as levou, o que as motivou mais para trabalhar com ele é que ele sempre acreditou nelas. Ele desafiou-lhes, deu-lhes tarefa que elas achavam que não conseguiam, e elas eventualmente conseguiram. Portanto, façam isso com os vossos colaboradores. Acreditem nos vossos colaboradores e vocês vão ver grandes resultados. Obrigada a todos. Essa é a última aula das lições do Sr. Tony Elumelu. Não se esqueçam de assinar a lista de presença. Boa sorte a todos. Obrigada. Madame Angela, over to you.
Okay, thank you. But I was looking for some feedback. So I guess Ibukun's back in the room. Ibukun, feedback, questions, comments? Thanks.
Yeah. So there are quite a number. There are quite a couple of feedback. So from Chibiko Ungozi, thank you so much, TF, for this business education you gave me free of charge. I will definitely implement every bit to ensure the growth of my business. May God bless you all. There's another one from Patrick Ame. With the Toe Way series session, I came to realize that business sustainability requires hard work, dedication, resilience, focus on the ability to believe in oneself. I'm eternally grateful to TF. So there are a lot of thank you, Madam Angela, thank you, TF, thank you, TOE. Then there's one from Live Mirror blog. As a leader, you have to be open to people, learn to manage them effectively. Don't make people to be scared of talking to you, be approachable. There's another one. Thank you, TOE. Thank you, Tony Elumelu Foundation. Thank you, Madam Angela. Then there's from Alabo Emanuela. Madam Angela, thanks very much for the training sessions. You have transformed my mindset, and I am now ready to face challenges in the industry of my business. From Nukutula, I will definitely take this week to process all the knowledge we have received. Then there's another one here from TC Injigu. Thank you so much, Madam Angela, for this beautiful insight. Then there's a lot of thank you to you. Thank you to the Elumelu Foundation. Thank you, Madam Angela. Then thank you very much, Ma. From Miracle, thank you very much, Ma. I think I'm nurturing and untouchable in my company. Thank you for opening my eyes to it. I'll look into the best set of action to take. Monday Ayodele, managing people requires continuous effort, learning, and improvement. Stay open to feedback, learn from your experiences, and be willing to adjust your approach as needed. From Mavina, thank you so much, Madam Angela. We have been empowered with knowledge. One of my take back home from this last session is to quickly back up every decision I make with action. Then there's another one from Asa. It's an insightful session. Thank you, TEF. Thank you, TOE. Thank you, Madam Angela. Your business values are what implementing in every business. Thank you, Madam Angela, for the explicit explanations of values. Thank you, Ibukun. There's another one from Angel Marian. So it's thank you so much, TOE. Thank you, Madam Angela, Ibukufoko, and Nadia for this rare privilege and insightful session. Agbo Eni Patricia, thank you, Madam Angela. I know all of us have learned a lot since we started these classes. We didn't just grow, but we've evolved. We have evolved. God bless you, Ma. God bless you, TEF. Then there is, thank you, Madam Angela, for an amazing, impactful, and exciting session. Excellent teaching. I am so glad to be here. The TF Masterclasses have opened my eyes and skills. Thank you. From Marquella, TF Masterclasses, okay, same TF Masterclasses have opened my eyes and skills. Discipline is the key to every successful leader. Then there is another one. Thanks, TF, for this teaching by experience. I'm glad to learn from this great man. Keywords I learned during the session is people management, smart goal setting, resilience, and effective leadership. Then there is another one here from Buchi Ukachuku. A leader is guided and guarded by rules and regulations and laws. And with this instrument, he can gently whip his followers into line. Thank you, Madam Angela, for these sessions. They have been truly inspirational. Okay, so thank you, Madam Angela. People management is key in business, and we must bring people into our business on competence basis, not psychophancy. Then there is this series of master classes are one of a kind. I am really blessed to have reached this stage. It will help me in the wider world. From Koroma, thank you so much, TF. Thank you, Madam Angela. And then there's another one from Ava. Thank you, Mrs. Angela, for your time and the training. I'm grateful for coming this far. Thank you for believing in us and giving us the opportunity to participate on this platform. Gracias, TF team. Thank you so much, Madam Angela. We've learned a lot from these sessions. So those are the comments that came in. So it's a lot of them taking learning points to grow their businesses and thanking TF, thanking you for an opportunity, such opportunity, and allowing them, learn so much from TOE.
Yeah, we've learned.
Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Bidku, for that feedback. A big thank you to TOE for being the role model that we're all learning from and emulating. So we're thankful to him, and thank you to all the participants because you've given a lot of feedback, a lot of good feedback, and it shows that you've been participating, you've learned, and we're all learning. I've learned from you, you've learned from me, we've learned from TOE. So over to you, Foko and Nadia.
Okay, yes, in the same way, we also have feedback from Francophone. For example, we have Patricia Goudji-Hippo. Merci de nous avoir offert l'opportunité de découvrir le leadership charismatique. Le leader charismatique qu'est Tony Elumelu, c'est un modèle à suivre pour le développement de l'entrepreneuriat en Afrique. Okay, we also have Sorel Nietzsche. Encore merci TF. Ces 4 séances de partage ont été un moment de succès. Nous allons les implémenter. Mani Shinamula Bazilache. Nous disons infiniment merci TF et Madame Angela pour m'avoir donné une nouvelle façon d'entreprendre et de devenir leader solide. We also have Francis Essoa. Je pense même que le leadership est progressif. Il évolue en fonction du niveau auquel se trouve l'entreprise. Donc, we also have another one from this guy. Okay. Sorel Nietzsche. Okay, I already wrote all this. Patricia. Okay, it is good. It's good for French, please. Thank you. Over to you, Nadia.
Okay, thank you. Nadia?
Yeah, we have some thanks from Portuguese speaking entrepreneurs as well. We have Noel Café that says thank you. Lydia Tusha is saying that I've learned a lot on how to become a great leader. Thank you. We also have Constantino Chacho that says thank you to Nadia and the entire team. That's about it. Wow. Thanks.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. So on this note, I heard Foko say à la prochaine. So à la prochaine. So thank you all so much for the time. Really valuable session and very, very useful to me anyway. I learned a lot, and I know that we all did, and we continue to learn from TA. Thank you all so much, and all the best. Ibukun, over to you.
All right, thank you very much. So on behalf of everyone here, TEF, the entire staff, would like to say a big thank you to Madam Angela. It has been an amazing Toe Way series from the masterclass 1 to 4, has been very insightful, impactful, very engaging, interesting. And it just tells a lot, even from the feedback from the entrepreneurs. So we're very grateful. And we look forward to having you again next year. And I know it will be more engaging, more interesting. And the entrepreneurs that we select or shortlist next year will also get this knowledge-packed sessions. So we're very grateful. Thank you so much for your time. And to Nadia and Foko, thank you so much for your dedication. It's not easy staying here and, you know, translating for over 3 hours. So we really appreciate you guys. We're very, very, very grateful for your time and support. Thank you so much. And thank you so much. And this is from me and the entire foundation, the CEO, the directors. We're really grateful. Thank you so much, Nadia and Foko. And so thank you, entrepreneurs, again, for staying on board for almost 3 hours. It's not easy streaming via YouTube, but I know you guys are enjoying the session and getting the learnings that would help you, you know, scale, grow your business, and launch a successful business as well. So thank you so much to everyone. This is the last masterclass, and, you know, I just want to wish everyone the best. And for those that were not shortlisted to move to the next phase, again, don't get discouraged. There's so many opportunities out there. The learnings you're getting from here, you can use them, you know, to empower yourself and seek other funding opportunities. And again, you can reapply next year to our program. So it's not a cast in stone. So please just, you know, just take it, use all the learnings from here and apply it to yourself. And for those that were shortlisted as well, congratulations. And we're going to be sending you more information about next steps of the program tomorrow. So please check your emails and also check your junk mails, because sometimes those emails go into your junk. So please check them. And also we'll be sending you text messages as well. So please just check your phone so you can get all the information needed to upload all your documents next week. So I would like to just end the session now. So thank you, everyone, and all the best. Have an amazing weekend and stay blessed. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Buko. Thank you. Bye, Foko.